Welcome to the Story 516 podcast, where we sit down with Christians from across denominations and talk about how God is at work in the world today and inspire you to see God at work in your own life in new ways. Welcome to the Story 516 podcast. I'm Zach. I have a returning guest joining me for the end of the year podcast, my brother Jonny.
Hey.
You've been on the show a couple times before, I believe. And yeah, with the end of 2025, it's a time that lots of people think about goals, goal setting, resolutions, just the transition period from kind of the busy holiday season to January. I don't know, January doesn't seem to have like a ton of like big events or holidays
Not
after
really.
the first.
Yeah.
You kind of have to wait till like, what is it, the end of January, beginning of February for like Super Bowl and Valentine's Day. And then you get into March for like spring break, Easter, somewhere end of March, April.
Right.
And then you're in the summer, basically.
Yep. Can't wait.
So yeah, I know. Yeah, we're here under a couple of feet of snow, I think, towards the end of December recording this in the Midwest. It's been great.
But the days are getting lighter.
They are. Yeah, and when I say it's great, definitely some heavy sarcasm there. But anyways, I thought it would be really interesting to talk about kind of that transition period from there's the chaos of the holidays, which sometimes doesn't give people a lot of time to process the year they just had.
Mm-hmm.
Like whether your 2025 was good, bad, somewhere in between, I think there's still things that you could probably pause, process. Before we started rolling, I was talking with Jonny about asking him if he was a resolution setter, New Year's resolution setter. You're not.
No, I'm not. Yeah.
I'm not necessarily like a resolution setter, but I try and establish some goals.
Yeah.
Or maybe a theme for the new year. And then revisit the goals monthly, quarterly, however it works out. But I thought it'd be interesting to kind of talk a little bit. And I think it might even be a better conversation because we maybe like fall slightly on different sides.
Yeah, totally.
Of do we set resolutions, goals? Like what do we do at the end of the year, beginning of the year? But I think maybe a great place to start would be like, do you set aside time either at the end of the year, during the year to process the year, month, quarter that you've had? And if you don't mind sharing what that looks like.
Yeah, I definitely do. I do it a lot more frequently than not, especially with work related.
Yeah.
Like with my job, I kind of towards the end of the month, almost every month, I just look back, be like, okay, what did this month look like? What were like the big rocks that I was trying to accomplish? What are the things that my dreams, if you will, for my role, things that I want to see happen but haven't gotten around to them yet? How can I get around to it this coming month? Figuring out even just like my daily schedule. Like, so even right now, like starting January, I like cleared my complete work schedule, like what I normally do at different times. And now I'm looking back this year or even this past couple months of like what are the tasks that I can do at what time in the day? When am I most productive compared to, when I'm not as productive, or what days am I more productive than others? And how do I give my all or my best each day? And my best on a Monday is going to look differently than a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like Monday, I'm tired from Sundays. Tuesdays is typically the day where I have my better work, if you will, more focused, have more energy, things like that. So like Tuesdays, I can get the bigger things that I need done on a Tuesday and that I couldn't do on a Monday.
Yeah. For me, I'm probably the Monday, but you're a worship pastor, so Sunday's your big day of your big work
it's a work day. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so like part of my process is a lot of just simply just like looking back in retrospect and looking at because I put in what I do every day in my calendar.
Yeah.
Like, so on a weekly basis, I do a weekly review where it's like, okay, what was I doing in these times? Was it what I said I was going to do? Was it not? Things like that. And then I adjust it to actually see what a week actually looked like.
Yeah.
So I have that aspect on kind of a weekly basis. So Thursday afternoon, I take time to do that. But then on a monthly basis, I look at a bigger picture with, especially being more of a visionary, thinking about like the
Right.
future. How do I achieve these things for within work? And then work back from there.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like we're probably pretty similar because I'll do weekly lists, and then occasionally I maybe don't have like a monthly uh, calendar event for myself to like pause and reflect. But I'll do it occasionally throughout the year. But then here at the end of the year, I do find myself thinking about it. I mean, a lot of what you're saying reminds me of one of my jobs where I advise some students and just talking with them about like identifying your most productive time of the day and
Yep.
everything. And I've been thinking about last year about this time, I was building out my kind of maybe not like resolutions, but goals for 2025, the year that's coming to a close right
Yeah.
now. And looking back, I was like, man, my goals for 2025 and the actual 2025 looked kind of different.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that was one of the biggest things I'm taking away from my goals, is to hold them with open hands.
Yeah.
And I think that's also very spiritual in that sense, where, what is it? One of my favorite like word pictures about following God is like God can't steer a docked ship. So you need to cast off from shore, hopefully have a direction you're heading.
Mm-hmm.
But as like, if we're viewing God, the Holy Spirit, Jesus, as like the wind in your sails, sometimes that will alter your course, direct your course a little bit, and being willing to do that. Because I think a lot of times, I think all of us have examples of situations like that we can like grasp onto and almost be our anchor for this like belief of like, okay, God can direct my sails, or can direct my course and guide me. Because probably a lot of us have been on like a vacation or had some plan for, I'm going to do this today. And then for whatever reason, maybe the bakery was closed, or there was construction in the state park, so you had to change the area of the park you were going to or something.
Or you get stuck in a snowdrift and can't meet up with your brother sooner.
Right. Yeah, we were going to we were going to record this like a day ago, but then we had a blizzard early this week, and
My apartment complex doesn't know how to clean a parking lot.
I feel like a lot of apartment complexes don't know how to plow their lots in a great way. And some city roads too.
True.
So we're recording it today.
Yep.
Which I think
adjusting plans.
Right. But I mean, maybe even looking back at those plans, maybe because of that, you were able to do something that you didn't have on your docket that was great. Or like sometimes going on a trip, it's like, I went out to like some state parks last fall, and one of them I realized, oh, you had to pay to get in. It was like a place, and I was like, I don't really want to do this. Looking back, it's like, okay, well, I actually saved a lot of time that I would have spent there, and I got to go to this other place and spend a lot more time there, which was fun. And some of it, I think, is perspective, seeing the positive in situations. But I do think like finding an example like that in your own life, me holding on to like that example as an example, reminding myself of, hey, I might have goals that I'm pursuing, but God might direct me either completely somewhere different or just tangentially a little different. And that can be a beautiful thing.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's a long, complicated way of explaining a little bit of bitty metaphor. But I do think like taking some time to think about that and having your own image that you can hold on to from an experience in your own life can be a great tool that you can have. The other thing we were talking about before we started rolling was the idea of like a theme word for a year. I don't know if you've done that before.
I have not.
I
No.
haven't. This is the first year I'm hoping to do that. But one of the things that I think could be interesting about choosing a theme word that might be really beneficial for people, and it can even just be like, I think we get confused where it's like, oh, this is my theme that I'm gonna have to live this out, and you might get overwhelmed because it's like, I choose joy, and then January you get sick, and something your car breaks down. It's like, I can't choose joy anymore. This is a really silly year. I don't like this. But I think choosing like a theme word, or like, especially if like the theme word's like biblical, like faith, joy, like a fruit of the spirit. Like, hey, if you want to start somewhere, choose a fruit of the spirit as a theme word for this year. And I would encourage you, don't worry about trying to necessarily like, my whole life has to be categorized by this. But instead, what if that theme word was what you're looking for? I think that could be interesting. Like, it's a great way to like train your mind to like look for the positive. There's that verse about like whatever's true, noble, excellent. Think about these things.
Yeah, Philippians.
Yeah, in Philippians. This is a great way to practice that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
choose a fruit of the spirit to be your theme word for 2026 and just look for it. And that sometimes like having maybe the screensaver, the background in your phone is just that word. So every time
Right.
you open your phone, you're seeing that.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a routine where before you go to bed, you write down one way you noticed that word connect to what you saw that day. Or maybe you have a reminder on your phone that at 1 p.m. it your phone buzzes, you look down, it's like, oh yeah, where am I seeing that theme word of faith or patience? I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like that's a really great idea to try. Yeah, so that's kind of like, if you do a theme word, there are also goals. You were talking about how you set goals. Do
Yeah.
you set goals for faith related?
Um, Not necessarily for like faith related things. Because I think sometimes when we set goals, we can just think of a checkbox.
Right.
And I'm one who would say we should not have like even our spiritual disciplines like reading scripture, prayer, like those things should not become a checkbox on our list of things to do in the day.
If someone's having trouble like establishing like a habit or the desire, do you think it could start as a
It
check
could
spot?
be a great starting point, but if that's how we view it, there's danger in that because then it's like, all right, I did my thing. Now I'm going to ignore it for the rest of today.
Right.
Right. Like that can be a danger. That is a danger if you fall into that. Right.
Well,
Like,
I mean, it's a belief I have of like, all good things probably have kind of like a shadow side where it could become a problem if you take it to an extreme or too
right.
far.
Right.
And I think it connects, what you're saying kind of connects with the idea of like holding things with an open hand and being willing to pivot. So if you start with like if you're having like, I'm there, I struggle reading my Bible. Sometimes I need to make it a checkbox
Yeah.
thing, but I need to hold that with open hands. Because if I shut my hands, I'm like, this is only ever a checkbox. It will only ever be a checkbox. No, that's so unhelpful. I
Yeah.
need to open hands and be like, hey, I'm going to be doing this. And maybe my checkbox is read for 5 minutes every day.
Yeah.
But what if I hold it with an open hand? Then if I come across the time where it's like, oh, I actually want to keep, like 5 minutes is up, but I want to keep going. Or maybe I was reading through John and I'm like, for whatever reason, maybe like my sermon was about Philippians and I just want to read the book of Philippians. Do it.
100%.
Like, goals are great. Open hand is also great. I think it
Right.
can be both.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, yeah, for me, when it comes to like my faith side of things, like I think especially kind of in an individualistic culture, we like to have like check boxes, kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, it's like this part of my day is for this. And I think there actually can be some danger, especially on the faith side of putting those things in different categories. Because, like, for
Right.
me, it's like, what does God call us to do? Make disciples, right? He has called all believers to go, therefore, make disciples, to also abide in Him. and abiding is depending on him. And if we're only depending on him with this one part of our day, are we actually depending on him?
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, for like my faith side, I could go on
Yeah.
about that. Like we could talk for a long time. As far as like other aspects of my life, I do set goals. But for me, I've found that like I know like for some people at the beginning of the year, it's that time that like really like there's kind of it's a reset.
Yeah.
You
It
feel it.
feels
You
like a
feel it.
fresh start. Yeah.
I still feel that too, totally. But I've seen that like for me, if I want to have a goal and I want to set a goal, I'm gonna do it like here and now, right? So earlier this fall, I was like, you know what? I really want to start learning Ukrainian. I spent some time there earlier this year, visiting the church that my church planted over there, and then being part of a conference as well. And coming back, I was like, you know what? I really want to learn this language.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wait till the new year.
Right.
I'm gonna start here and now. What can I do right now to start learning?
Yeah. I think that's a great point to remember kind of as we're approaching the new year of I'm the type of guy who a lot of times it's like if I set out like a task list, I start it on Mondays.
Yeah.
And then if I start failing it and I'm like I can't complete this by Wednesdays, I might just derail and give up entirely
Right.
and wait for Monday to
To
like
start
start
kind of a
again.
refresh. Yeah.
And it's like that's probably not the healthiest way. Like at the end of the day, days are like Monday, January 1st are a little arbitrary. Like, why couldn't
Right.
January 3rd be your January 1st?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
why can't Thursday be your Monday?
And for me, I think a big thing is like even thinking about like in Lamentations, it says God's mercies are new every morning. Great is his faithfulness. And so it's like each day is a gift. Like each day like is a new day. We should not let our past define us. Our failures define us. Today is a new day. Like today is the day the Lord has made. So let's rejoice and be glad in it. And like whether like I failed at my goals from yesterday or my tasks from the other day, like today's a new day.
Yeah.
Like let's start today. Let's do what we can today. So
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
think that's a great way to close out the conversation. And I don't know, I feel like the 2 points, like that's a great point. And I think
yeah,
that's like the primary point of every day's a new beginning. It doesn't have to be
100%.
January 1st. It doesn't have to be Monday. It doesn't have to be the first day of
Yep.
a new quarter.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
any day is that new day. Mercies are new every
Right.
morning. There's a Toby Mac song from back in the day about like it's never too late to get back up again.
Yep. Yeah. I have a tattoo on my leg that is that reminder. It says the story isn't over, it's only just begun. God's mercies are new every day. Like your story isn't over, like it's only just begun.
So I think combining that theme with whatever goals you set or plans you have, resolutions you make, themes you set out, holding them with an open hand.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Remembering it's new every day and hold it with an open hand. I think you'll be off to a fantastic start for the new year.
100%. 100%.
Cool. Well, we will catch you next time. Thank you for joining us. You can support the show by going to our Patreon page at patreon.com/story516. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We look forward to seeing you next time.